The Phoenix Suns right now are pulling off the most remarkable turnaround the NBA has witnessed. In the 18 and 19 seasons, Phoenix had a record of 40 and 124. Within that time, the only team that finished anywhere near that bad, within 19 losses in fact, was the Knicks. And outside Devin Booker, it was a pitiful time in Phoenix's history. Then rookie Suns GM James Jones did a few big things, firing Igor Kokoskov, then hiring Monty Williams, signing Ricky Rubio, and acquiring Cam Johnson on draft night. They would then in 2020 nearly make the play-in, so they traded for Chris Paul that offseason. Since then, the Suns are 97 and 31, which is by far the best record in basketball since. And when it comes to a full worst to first total 180, they are the utmost example.
So that is the Phoenix Suns within the last 15 to 10 years. They've come up with their management below the owner. The owner's still incompetent, but the management below them, like they said, James Jones and Monty Williams, have really turned around the Phoenix Suns franchise to where they need to be. So we're going to keep that management, and we're going to keep the point guard at Rajon Rondo, a very passing type point guard, you know. I don't necessarily want to say the black Steve Nash, because offensively they may be very similar, but defensively Rajon Rondo is a monster. As far as steals, as far as literally everything. And his dribbling's a little bit better. But yeah, Rajon Rondo's defense separates him from basically being Steve Nash, because his passing is out of this world. Byron Scott, around 6'4", played with Magic in the Lakers, became a coach at one point, can shoot the three, can go to the rim, can dribble, can do some mid-range, and even was the bridge for the post-Magic early Shaq years. But he's a guy who's very reliable, can get 20 on you very easily. Shawn Marion, 6'8", can jump out the gym. His nickname was the Matrix. He had the craziest shooting form. His shooting form basically released at his, like, the bottom of his chin. So like he would barely even extend his arms when he would shoot. It would be like a T-Rex type of thing. It was one of the funniest things in the NBA at that point, next to like certain people's free throws and shit. But like, other than that though, I mean, he can actually shoot with that weird ass form. He can shoot a little bit of a three, a little bit of a mid-range. I just think he has to be in a rhythm. Amari Stardemar, 6'10", played for Phoenix also. Was also getting oops from Steve Nash and Boris Diaw. Can go to the rim with reckless abandon. Basically, it didn't matter who was under the rim. He was big enough, you know, 6'10", 230, 240. He was big enough to do what he wanted to do in the post. Had big man post moves as far as old school drop steps, you know, turnarounds. He was one of the fewer power forwards back when he was younger and on the Suns with the number 32. He was more of a face-up power forward. And that's like more of the beginning of the pick and roll, which led to Dwight Howard, etc., etc. I was about to say DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Ayton. He's been to the finals. He plays for the Phoenix Suns now. He's one of those old school centers. He has a little bit of range as far as he may have made like a handful of threes, but he's a mid-range guy. He's a back to the basket guy. He's a post guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has an even more old school game than Amari Stardemar. Speaking of Stodemar, we got Damon Stodemar, spelled differently, spelled an A. About 5'11", can pass, can shoot his ass off. The three-pointer was his specialty. Obviously, because, you know, going to the rim against all those huge guys is not the greatest idea. But he can go to the rim if you let him. Also, his playmaking skills were pretty good also. So, when he went to the rim, it wasn't always him finishing. But at the same time, his catching and shooting and his pulling up as far as 3 points and mid-range scoring was excellent. He was a point guard on the 2000s Jailblazers. He can do it all, but not everything. He's not going to put it on your head. Michael Bridges, defense. He's straight defense. This is what the Phoenix Suns got him for. He messed up his shot his rookie year, but he ended up fixing it his second year in the league. Now, he's very reliable. He was one of the people that was a main figure into the Suns going to the finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. He's one of those guys that the new management scouted out and was like, oh yeah, this guy's finna be the one. Obviously, they did that with a few other people on the team too, but Michael Bridges is the glue guy. He's going to dunk it, he's going to shoot the mid-range, and he's going to play defense on one of your best players on the other team. And he can put it on the floor a little bit. He can dribble just a tiny bit, But he's more of somebody passing it to him. He's not that much of a playmaker. He's not that much of a passer. But when people rely on you for passing and defense, then, Boris Diaw played for the Phoenix Suns. He was one of the first point forwards in the NBA because his passing was so immaculate. This right here, even though he is 6'7", 250, he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, and he's not the strongest. This right here is a blueprint for Nikola Jokic. So Nikola Jokic at 6'11", 240 is doing the exact same thing that Boris Diaw is doing, just on a bigger scale with more opportunity and just being the guy out there in Denver. But Boris Diaw is the guy to do that before part of the second 7 seconds or less. Raef LaFrentz can shoot the three, 6'11", center. Not exactly the strongest in the post. Brent Barry is like he has an old soul or something. It's a white guy with a black soul, kind of. At least as far as the way he plays. It's like he watched Magic Johnson and Dr. J all of his life and kind of mixed the two in together and created his play of style. Very flashy, just ready to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, his dad was Rick Barry, so his dad was in the NBA. His dad was in the ABA, also very flashy. Emmanuel Quickley, rookie guard. Aaron Holiday, point guard, has two other brothers in the league. Trey Lyles from Kentucky, 6'10", can shoot. Myers Leonard, 6'11", play a little defense and can shoot. Then we got Monty Williams, the head coach. He's the new look head coach for the Suns. Turned everything around. Let him go to the finals. Got Chris Paul and all that. Mid-range scoring, three-point scoring, and layups are strengths. Weaknesses is strength, dunks, and blocks. I can't see how weaknesses are dunks when you have Amari, Sean Marion, DeAndre, but I don't know. That's just me.